Hey guys, welcome to my Geek Rant. So today I'm going to be reviewing Darth Vader #4. That's Marvel's Darth Vader, the comic book series. So I totally called it. I knew that 000 and BT would be basically homages to HK-47, and from the get-go, they already had all this dark comedy and all these fun bits about how psychotic and how homicidal these droids are, and I loved it. I loved how they started off with that, and it's great because they're part of Vader's crew, which is kind of in the same vein as if you think about KOTOR and Revan's crew. If he's on the dark side, he appeals to those kinds of beings and droids. But yeah, I actually thought the beginning of the comic started off a little bit slow, though I did enjoy the callbacks that Vader had, because we always have to remember, even though that Vader is evil, he still has a hint of the light side within him, and that's why he has this redemption. That's how Luke could sense the redemption in him, and that he could turn him to the light side of the Force. Luke could even sense that in Empire Strikes Back. He can tell even from then that his father, or his original father, the light side of his father, was still there. And I like how they're giving nuggets about that, and how Afra was like probing into like what that was about, or if he's ever been in Geonosis, and he's like, stop your probing. Like, you know, he's like, no, I'm not, that's not about me. I'm not Anakin anymore. I have to expel that person from me completely if I really want to be a Sith Lord and be a good Sith Lord for my my master, because that's the only person that he has now. He only has Sidious and the Sith Order, and after that there's nothing for him. Pretty much all his friends are dead or exiled at this point. So, however, I did find Padme's ship, the inclusion of the ship, kind of weird. There wasn't any, like, I mean, it makes sense because it would still be stuck there on Geonosis if no one ever picked it up. But for it just to show up in the middle of the comic, maybe I missed something, but it seemed like the inclusion of that was a little bit, they were trying a little bit too hard, because I don't see where that came from, really. But I am continuing to like Dr. Afra, especially the fact that she knows her role with Vader. She knows from the get-go that the second she met him, her life was pretty much in danger, and that the second that she becomes useless, and it's great because she actually understands her role, and most people don't get that. They are shocked or trying to hide away from it, but she knows that, you know, as long as I'm alive, that's great. But she knows very well that her life can be ended in a second. And it's very funny how she decides how she wants to be killed when Vader, you know, decides to kill her, if he does kill her. But by far, the ending of this comic was my favorite part of the whole thing. So one of Vader's bounty hunters actually captures the guy that was conspiring with Sidious in the first comic, and Vader obviously wants to know what this guy's about, what he's doing with Sidious. So yeah, the bounty hunter finds him, brings him to Vader, and the guy's like, "You're not even gonna get a name from me. Interrogate me all you like." And then 000 is like, "I'll take care of it, Master. I'll do it for you. Like, it'll be my greatest pleasure to do this for you." Just in the same way HK-47 would say it to Revan. And so after like a short time, like, not only does 000 get his name, but he gets all the relevant information about him. And he actually, it's very funny, he says, "I have bad news and good news. Good news, I have all the information necessary. Bad news is," and then Vader's like, I forget what, I think he says like, "Make sure that he's killed now," like after you got the information. He's like, "Oh, doubly good news. I actually killed him." And you can just imagine it, because you can imagine him with all this dark humor talking in like C-3PO's voice, which I think is very comical and very great, especially within this darker tone of a comic, you know, considering that we're following Vader as a Sith Lord. But I thought that was really awesome that 000 went in and did work. It's really like the opposite of C-3PO. While C-3PO likes to communicate to figure out more about the culture of somebody, he's doing it just so he can like torture them and get information out of them. I think that's really great. I think they did that part really well. And the information that 000 gets out of the man, whose name, oh, I forget what his name was, but they do reveal it in the comic what his name was. The biggest thing that he revealed is that Sidious is I don't know if he's training two people or he's trying to find two replacements for Vader, which makes it seem like Sidious is completely disbanding the rule of two at this point. So I don't know if that's a conscious choice by the writer, or if it's just a test for Vader. Like, Sidious is just trying to get these two people just to test out Vader. He's not really trying to create two apprentices that are gonna come up or anything like that. But my wonder is, who are those people? So we do know for sure, I had a video a while back where I thought that the two sabers, there was a yellow one and a green one, belonged to Ahsoka Tano. Obviously, that's not the case because, as we know from the behind the scenes for Rebels, she now has 2 white lightsabers. So my thinking now is that it could be Quinlan Vos and Asajj Ventress, but we don't really know what's going to happen with them because they still have that book coming out, and I don't know. Like, it's obviously 2 Jedi of some sort, one with a yellow lightsaber and one with a green, and we know that it's 2 people, 2 or more. They say several people. So it's interesting. I hope that cliffhanger actually got me back into the series a little bit more. I wouldn't say this was an amazing. I like this comic the most, mostly for the comedy with 000 and BT. But in terms of Vader's storyline, I still wanted to see a little bit more into him. But I know we're still building it up, and I'm still with it. They're giving me a little bit of nuggets that keep making me want to come back. But I really want to see something. I really want to get something juicy, which I think we're gonna get next with this next comic. So I'm gonna be looking forward to that. But that's it. I'll see you guys on the next comic, which I believe will be much better. It's coming out next month. But of course, peace, love, and may the Force be with you always. I'm sorry, someone told me that this is not like this is bad in England, but yeah, let me do this. Always.
I was interested to see how 2 of the top Dark Lords of the respective universes would work off each other. How the Force matches up against good old magic.
No, why are you mowing your lawn right now? I'm recording a Let's Play.